Hey, welcome back. It's Monday, and it's time for Motivation Monday here at Meditations on Mastery KMMA. And today I want to talk to you about your DOS. Some of you may actually remember that DOS was the disk operating system. Many people listening to this probably don't even know what a floppy disk is, but that's not the subject today. The subject is that just as the DOS that I'm talking about was the operating system for the computer, the DOS I'm talking about today is the operating system for our lives. Because we know, if you follow this, you know that our attitudes, our thoughts actually determine our attitudes, and our attitudes determine our actions, and our actions determine our results. We know that what we put in our mind, what we allow our subconscious mind to believe, in a very real sense, creates the world around us. Well, the DOS that I'm talking about today is a big part of that, because DOS stands for dangers, opportunities, and strengths. When we talk about the dangers, I want you to think about both the real and perceived. Perceived dangers are all those things in our mind that keep us from being all we can be and doing all that we can do, most of which will never actually happen. They're the fears and self-limiting beliefs that become a danger for us because they keep us from realizing our full potential. And then there are, of course, real dangers in our lives, and some of those are external, as in the case of having to learn to defend yourself against a stick or a knife or a gun attacker, like we do here in Krav Maga martial arts. Some, like I did a series recently on teens and driving. You know, there's real dangers of an external source like that, or an internal and external, in the driving example. And then there's internal dangers that, of course, are very real, but we do to ourselves. I.e. the dangers that we create to our health by certain habits that perhaps we could change for the better, or by not exercising. And then the next in DOS is opportunities. And you know, I believe that opportunities come to everyone. In fact, everyone has the same potential to be lucky. The question is, are we prepared? Because luck is what happens when preparedness meets opportunity, right? So when opportunities present themselves, will we be prepared in whatever way for that specific opportunity, whether we're talking about our physical or our mental or our financial well-being? Will we prepare ourselves for our opportunities? And the one other thing I would like to say about that before I move on is you won't even consider it anyway if the first things, right, if those false internal dangers, self-limiting beliefs keep you from trying. And then the S is your strengths. And perhaps it's the one I want you most to focus on today as you think about it. Because recently somebody asked me, he said, you know, it's easy for people like you. He actually said, it's easy for people like you that know what your purpose and passion and calling is. And you get to go do it every day. He goes, and I want to live a life like you. He said, but how do I know? He goes, I don't even know what I'm passionate about. I don't even know what I'm purposeful about. And I'd like to give just a couple pieces of advice on that in closing. The first is why I included it in this video, the S for strengths, because I do believe, and hey, by the way, you guys know that I believe that God endowed each of us with specific strengths. But whether you believe it the way I believe or not, the fact is you have some strengths in you that are your innate abilities, that are the things that you're naturally good at. Very, very often, the things that you're naturally good at will also be tied closely to the things that fire you up. Not always, but I find it to be true. And if that is true, there's a very good chance that this strength might give you a hint as to your calling. I heard from someone else recently too, by the way, where he said, think back to your childhood. Think back to what fired you up. I think he said between the ages of 6 and 13, he said, and you'll find some hints there. So consider your DOS. Consider the dangers that face you, the opportunities that are yours for the taking, and the strengths that you can apply. Upgrade your own operating system, as I'm doing, and we are all doing in our quest to be our best and to improve all the time, so that our operating system will then create for us the life of our dreams.